As we all know, if you own a dog, you invest a lot in time and emotion. But how much do you really know about your dog's genetic history? Well, now there's a company that'll help provide the answers. It's called Paw Print Genetics. Here. Come here.
Man's best friend, companion, needs training, sees the vet. Dog stuff. Dog stuff we think about. But how about dog stuff we don't think about?
Well, I was in human genetics for over 20 years and ran human diagnostic laboratories, and I became interested in getting my dog tested.
Testing her dog's genetics? Lisa Shaffer
Yes, I have a PhD in genetics.
already knew that one's genetic makeup controls just about everything in humans as well as dogs.
Well, as a geneticist, I think everything's genetic. So our propensity to gain weight, our ability to have certain talents, and it's the same for the dogs. The dog breeds have been selected for by humans. So all dog breeds have come from gray wolves and over thousands of years have been selectively bred for certain traits.
So what, she wondered, was the genetic makeup of her dog, Trixie?
For an older dog like Trixie, I wanted to have her tested because she's having problems with her vision, and I wondered if it was inherited.
In seeking a genetics test, Shaffer discovered a need for a one-stop testing laboratory for all breeds. So she created one, Paw Print Genetics, headquartered in Spokane, Washington.
We have currently 142 different diseases that we test for in more than 200 breeds of dog. On our website, you can actually search for your specific breed of dog and look for those genetic diseases that they're susceptible for.
Using a genetics test kit provided by Paw Print, you simply swab the inner lining of the dog's cheek to obtain DNA.
All of the cells of our body contain DNA, so we're able to then use those cheek cells to extract DNA.
Next, mail in the swabs and await the results.
So most of the dogs that we test in our laboratory are being screened to see if they're carrying a disease for breeding purposes. About 30% of the time we find that they are carrying a mutation, and therefore they need to be paired with a dog that doesn't carry the mutation.
So far, however, a genetic test for hip dysplasia is still on the drawing board.
So hip dysplasia is a very complicated disorder, and because the dog genome has been completely sequenced, all the genes are known, it's simply figuring out which of those genes contribute to hip dysplasia, and then hopefully providing a test so that you can see whether or not your dog would be susceptible.
Shaffer said genetic tests in the future also may be able to show a dog's behavioral traits.
Exactly, so you could, because not all Labradors perhaps like to hunt. So if you could select that puppy that really likes to hunt based on its genes, that would be helpful as well. But I really think that because we know the canine genome now, we know all the DNA and the genes that make up those dogs, someday we'll be able to test for behavioral traits.
And what about cats? Cats have genes.
So I'm often asked about cats and why don't we test for our feline friends. And frankly, I don't know how you do a cheek swab on a cat.
I must say it's sort of peace of mind to know the genetic history of your dog. So that about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. I'm Ron Schara, and of course, always the star of the show, who also has a very nice genetic history, is Raven.